The unexpected introduction. Sarah's hands trembled slightly as she adjusted the golden fabric of her dress one final time. The evening air carried the scent of jasmine from her neighbor's garden, mixing with her own nervous energy. She had spent the better part of an hour choosing this outfit, something elegant but not too formal, something that said she was ready to start over without trying too hard. It had been 3 years since her divorce, 3 years of focusing entirely on her 8-year-old daughter Emma, of building a new life from the pieces of her old one. Tonight marked the first time she had agreed to go on a date since then. Her sister had been persistent, almost relentless in her matchmaking efforts. "Sarah, you can't hide forever," she had said just last week. "David is perfect for you. He's kind, he's successful, and he's been asking about you for months." The doorbell chimed, its familiar melody echoing through her modest home. Sarah took a deep breath, smoothing down her dress once more. Through the frosted glass panels of her front door, she could see a tall silhouette waiting on her porch. The warm glow of her porch light created a welcoming atmosphere, though her heart raced with anticipation and uncertainty. She opened the door slowly, and her breath caught in her throat. David stood before her in an impeccably tailored navy suit, the fabric catching the soft light. His dark hair was perfectly styled, and his warm brown eyes held a mixture of confidence and something else, something that looked almost like nervousness. He was more handsome than the photos her sister had shown her, more polished than she had expected. "Sarah," he said, his voice smooth and reassuring, "you look absolutely stunning." She felt heat rise to her cheeks. "Thank you. You clean up pretty well yourself." For a moment, they stood there in comfortable silence. The evening was perfect, not too warm, with a gentle breeze that rustled the leaves of the oak tree in her front yard. Somewhere in the distance she could hear children playing, their laughter carrying on the wind. David stepped closer, and Sarah caught the subtle scent of his cologne, something expensive and sophisticated. He leaned in slightly, his voice dropping to barely above a whisper. "Sarah, there's something I need to tell you before we go." Her heart skipped a beat. Was he about to cancel? Was there something wrong? Her mind immediately went to all the worst scenarios she had imagined throughout the day. "My kids are in the car." The words hit her like a gentle wave rather than a tsunami. She blinked, processing what he had just said. "Kids, plural. In the car, your ... kids," she managed to ask, her voice barely audible. David's expression shifted, and she could see vulnerability replace the confidence he had worn moments before. His shoulders sagged slightly, and he ran a hand through his perfectly styled hair. "I'm so sorry, Sarah. I know this isn't what we planned. My babysitter canceled at the last minute, some family emergency. I tried calling everyone I could think of, but..." He trailed off, looking genuinely distressed. "I didn't want to cancel on you. Not tonight. I've been looking forward to this for weeks." Sarah stepped out onto her porch, the cool concrete beneath her feet, grounding her in the moment. She looked past David toward the street, where a sleek black SUV sat under the streetlight. Through the tinted windows, she could make out the silhouettes of 2 small figures in the back seat. "How old are they?" she asked softly. 6 and 4, David replied, watching her face carefully for any sign of disappointment or anger. "Lily and Marcus, they're good kids, I promise. They won't be any trouble." Sarah felt something shift inside her chest. Not disappointment, not frustration, but something warmer, something that felt like recognition. Here was a man who had been put in an impossible situation, who could have easily cancelled their date, but who had chosen instead to be honest and vulnerable. "What were you planning to do with them while we went to dinner?" she asked. David's face flushed slightly. "I thought maybe we could take them with us. There's this family restaurant downtown that has a play area." "I know it's not the romantic evening I had planned, but David," Sarah interrupted gently, placing a hand on his arm, "bring them in." He blinked. "What? Bring them inside?" "I'll make dinner. Emma's at her father's for the weekend, so we have the whole house to ourselves." "Well," she smiled, "to the 4 of us." The relief that washed over David's face was immediate and profound. "Are you sure?" "I don't want to impose, especially not on our first, I'm sure," Sarah said firmly. "Go get them." As David walked toward his car, Sarah realized that her nervousness had transformed into something else entirely. Excitement, anticipation, not for the perfectly planned evening she had imagined, but for something real, something authentic. She watched as David opened the car door and spoke quietly to his children. A moment later, 2 small figures emerged from the vehicle. The little girl Lily, Sarah remembered, had dark curls that bounced as she walked. Marcus, the younger one, clutched a stuffed dinosaur against his chest. They approached the porch, cautiously, staying close to their father. Sarah knelt down to their level, her golden dress pooling around her. "Hi there," she said warmly. "I'm Sarah. Your dad and I were going to go out for dinner, but I think it would be much more fun if we all stayed here instead. What do you think?" Lily exchanged a glance with her little brother before nodding shyly. Marcus peeked out from behind his dinosaur and whispered, "Do you have juice boxes?" Sarah laughed, the first genuine laugh she had felt in weeks. "I think I can manage that." As they all moved inside, David caught her hand gently. "Thank you," he said quietly. "This means more to me than you could know." Sarah squeezed his hand in return. "David, This is better than any restaurant, trust me. Later, as they sat around her kitchen table sharing homemade pizza and listening to the children's animated stories about school and dinosaurs and favorite movies, Sarah realized something profound. She had been so focused on the idea of starting over, of finding someone new, that she had forgotten what she was really looking for. She wasn't looking for perfect. She wasn't looking for easy. She was looking for real. And as David helped Marcus cut his pizza while Lily showed Sarah her dinosaur's special raw, Sarah felt something she hadn't experienced in years. She felt like she was exactly where she was supposed to be. The evening hadn't gone according to plan. It had gone exactly as it was meant to.